Is this about the questions again? Because I don't really know anything. Wow. I didn't know you worked for the union, sir. Anything else I can—
No, you don't work for the union. The union works for you. You see several packaged raincoats. The packages are small, discreet, sloppily stacked, making them easy. A colourful display.
Again, I'm obliged to inform you that both alcohol and cigarettes damage your health. Here you go, mister.
Still here, stuck in this damn jam, my man.
The afternoon sun shimmers off the white on blue police livery. Do something important? Something murder-related? There's always something. This is a Caprice Kanema, the Caprice Motor Corp's follow-up to their highly successful with its air-cooled, rear-mounted 12-cylinder compression ignition engine, driving the rear wheels through a 4-speed manual gearbox. The Kanema is able to reach 100 kilometers per hour in 13.5 seconds and go on to a top speed, even at a standstill. The unibody Caprice Kanema, someone has waxed it recently.
You want to take a closer look? $130.
I reckon that's a 7-liter V12 there.
7.2. Supercharged.
Saying these words brings him immense.
Yes, an extraordinary machine.
Helium headlights would improve the range and quality of the visual field a lot. It's a bit girly right now. Fitted with some proper off-road components.
Actually, I have a pair at home. Just haven't gotten around to fitting them yet. I need to lay some wiring for the ballast first. Maybe. Yeah.
And means no. The man ponders his cooking utensils and gives you a little nod. The mention of mañana gets his attention. They're friends. The man says a couple of sentences in that I'm pretty sure he asked you a question. He doesn't know your language. You can just say something cool in return.
Horse need more vodka?
Okay, so it's vodka that keeps the man happy and in good spirits.
Of course, vodka. Now that makes a very, very special borscht indeed. Turning it up seems like a dangerous idea, honestly. The place is a powder keg. cook gives you a long, disappointed look, then turns the stove.
Hey.
Well, well. The tear machine stand. Your bottles clunk into the machine.
Officer! Yes. The Debardiers Union pays me to stand vigil during the night. Not out of any I'm an old man. Don't sleep more than a few hours every night anyway.
He feels like he has to justify himself for some reason.
Yes, it does. Unfortunately, I wasn't working that night. Been on a 2-week leave since last Monday. No one. The boss has been on man since last Monday. There's no other girl.
No one has been guarding the container yard since...
Yes. It's not actually an issue.
Look, officers. The container yard doesn't actually need a guardsman. Never had one before René. Monsieur Claire had that booth built specially for him. It's mostly...
The possibility of someone being in there is enough to discourage any ill mind.
Evrard created this job for René because he knows the Royal Carabiniers' pension of honor and PTSD isn't something a man can live off. A decorated kingsman collecting tear reflects bad on the whole neighborhood.
Can we conclude the topic of my guard booth now? She is nobody. This is none of your concern.
The lady is Jeanne-Marie Beaulieu, and she sure as hell wasn't a nobody.
Yes, like...
Hello. Let me know if I can help you with anything. The Coldima Madakwa. Sorry, I would never have guessed that you were that interested in ultrasonic. That's fair. This was before, you know, lost touch with them after all of that. I'm not sure.
Do we really have time for this?
This recording, keep in mind, I have to slow...
As the hum grows louder, modulating, but not good, not good. You're about to start suffocating. You have to stop this. There's a growing sense of dread. The sound is coming from inside you, but he nods to you, reassuringly, just as more diverse, higher-pitched, seabirds most likely, gulls and such.
And skewers, but shh.
That's it. The signal in the noise. A low range of sounds is easier to handle with a focal point, but still troubling. You are mesmerized by the...
You know, now that I've listened to it on these new speakers...
Everything's still cool here, officer.
The woman before...
Hello again, esteemed officer.
Hello again, officers.
This door is made of metal. No one...
Let's go.
This must be it. The basement. The door to the weasel's den, guarded by the lion-headed knocker. Both have seen better days. You knock silently.
I guess no one is in?
The leather upholstery is worn and in fact, it's oddly silent in the yard around you.
Let's be honest. This isn't what I joined the RCM for. Apparently, working with the local union boss to get info on an investigation. I mind that the local thug is using the RCM for his busy. On the other hand, we could just... Yes, presenting a fabrication is not...
The door is right here. You can just... Besides, if you never open it, you're never gonna find out what's behind the door. You try to be a side. Finally, the sound of the key turning still... Well, buddy, you opened it. No need to go in. There's nothing else to do than to... Only curiosity could account. There might be important information in the... Master Investigator, you just can't keep yourself away from locked and hidden places, can you? Attaboy. This is the flag of REVON, the suzerainty. This isn't just one sun, but there are little suns dancing around the big sun. This is the sevenfold. It's an optical atmospheric anomaly the first settlers saw. Happens in cold weather. 6 small suns around the big one. This complex halo phenomena is how old REVON got its flag.
The tenant isn't...
By old-fashioned, he means very right-wing. The flag doesn't seem to... A row of mugs sits on the shelf. Each one depicts a human figure. A dark-skinned woman grinning amidst mysterious symbols. A little ring. Though cheerful, the images on the ceramic make you vaguely uncomfortable. The images betray a lack of interest in human beings. They are merely... The owner of these mugs doesn't like people of other ethnicities very much. This person is... The lieutenant picks up one of the mugs, then puts it...
I'm beginning to feel better about breaking into this man's apartment.
Yes, your broken mug friend would feel very much at home here. The same...
There's the missing tin soldier. Whoever lives here might have used the Whirling's container to dump his trash. And now they've drawn the ire of the Union. The plot thickens.
An interesting little clue. Let's see where this goes. Clues have a way of magically connecting. Perhaps you should break into apartments more often.
Who knows? I'm not expecting too much from these clothes.
You could ask Everard who this person is.
away, pig! Give me a moment.
Looking for something odd? Come to tell me to fuck off again?
The main thing is to not overdo it, even when you're trying to scare someone. The most important thing is, how does it look on your...
What? Looking for something odd?
Men like this only respect two things: strength and fear. Time to turn up the volume.
Fuck you, I told you. I'm not gonna...
There. His voice grows smaller as yours.
Look, fuck you, man. It's some lorry down there. Green banged up thing. I don't fucking know who she is.
When did she go away?
I don't know. I don't even know her name. She just rolls with the fleet and acts like a big shot. Some dyke, probably.
Now it's not a big deal for him anymore. This is how he saves face.
Past the monument. Down there. The Green Temple. Now, leave me...
A small temple by the monument. Green. Let's get into it.
Looks like he got his adrenaline up, too. This screen found, A to Z, Contemporain, is parked in the shadow of the ruins. Loot.
This must be the one he told us about. Unless he was lying.
The glass on the side windows is tinted and covered with dust. You can barely make out. Posters cover the small windows in the back. You can't make out what's on. The door is locked. The handle looks shiny, like it's recently replaced.
Use the pry bar to smash the window. Open it from the inside. I don't know how good it is, but this investigation has taken long enough. We can't afford it to take any longer.
This screen found, A to Z. Pry bar, goddamn, looks like the window might be shatterproof. Another few.
This has been...
He smashes it into the window. Droplets of glass fly everywhere, shattering over the lorry floor and pavement. You can just reach in now. The smell of cigarettes and perfume welcomes you. The cabin inside is There's something odd about the passenger seat. The seating fabric has been pulled tight over the lower side of the seat where the toolbox should be. These are movie posters featuring starlets from long-forgotten films from the 20s, the teens. Even one of them particularly catches your eye. A centerfold of an ingenue attached right above. There's definitely perfume in the air. It's spicy, with a hint of amberette, wafting through the bitter air, the remnants of a sweet juniper-scented perfume, probably grenade number 5. The actress is draped in a sheathed dress, one of her shoulders bared. The faded This is Tijon, a starlet from the dawn of cinematography, less known for her talent than her she wasted away in a drug den called Door to the River. Not far from here, on Boogie Street, a mixture of the actresses and the rear looks like the frequency dial is absent. It requires a key to work, but the key has been removed.
Strange. There are so many radio stations saved here. Must be over 100 at least.
It has to be an advanced model to fit so many frequencies next to each other without blending them together.
For contacting an entire fleet of lorrymen, for example. This is all shortwave, UW and UKV. Looks like we are dealing with an impressive organizational tool. The nerve center of a huge operation.
With a 20-kilometer radius at least, perhaps extended by an attachable antenna that's not here right now.
Doesn't look like it. It's completely...
The ghostly actresses. You wedge yourself under the steering wheel to get a better look. Seems like the few tools lying around here. A hammer, a pair of pliers, a rusty, but one odd detail does catch your eye. A piece of sandpaper adds extra grip.
Sandpaper? A novel technique? Yes?
Do the honors, he thinks. Connect it to yourself.
Which means that the missing lady driver was present at the lynching. Now we know for certain who's the missing 8th person at the lynching. Do you think that Hardy and his boys could also be involved in the drug operation? Understood. We should still go and see what type...
The movie stars are still smiling from... Voila! A stack of neatly folded papers has been stashed behind the seating fabric. You see 3 maps depict...
Bonne prise.
This large map displays the elevated motorway called 881. The intake leading to Martinez is marked with a blue X. There's another X on the off-ramp at a place called the Old South. Toll booths at the intakes are marked with a circle. It looks like there are scant few ways of getting onto the elevated motorway that runs over there. Hundreds of thousands of motor carriages roar on the 881, high above the map to Couronne, through the middle-income neighborhoods there, by the river, and then to Stella Maris and La Delta for work, while the men and women of Jamrock scuttle to their fates below the road. This municipal map from the 30s displays a complex system of storm sewers underneath a sub-district called the Pox, old military hospital. No storm will ever drown Revachol. The great solution to the riddle of history. The final map displays a labyrinth of service tunnels left over from the construction of motorway 881. A few routes have been marked with a pen. These service tunnels were probably used during the construction. Looks like the smugglers have infiltrated the road network belonging to East Motor Tract.
So it would seem. The RCM patrols most of these auxiliary. Hard to say. This distribution network looks certainly large, yet still vague enough. It doesn't reveal much about the Besmerti. The Besmerti is a Revacholian crime syndicate. They see themselves as the inheritors of the 14 Revacholian Indo-tribes. But really they're just violent gangs vying for control on the west side of Revachol. With cool names, like La Put, it's definitely not the Union. They just do some logistics. This operation has spread everywhere in Jamrock. If it's that widespread, then Madre remains the most likely suspect. Here's bad news. They have been... Best not to...
The stack of maps looks just like a metallic drawer slides out from the seat. It's empty, except for it's an issue of Periferique from last Wednesday. A piece of paper falls out from it. It looks like an article ripped out from a radio enthusiast magazine. Complex mathematical equations explain the basics of something called the Ulan frequency.
The Ulan frequency system? I've never heard of that before. I know of FM, AM, UKV, but...
You pull out two buttons, slice back, you close the...
Great. I think we got everything. Alright, we've finished here. Let's quickly debrief and go over what we... Honestly, I'm quite well. I'm especially intrigued by that radio transmitter, particularly the sheer number of stations it can connect. Looks like this alleged drug trade.
This means it's well funded. Technology like that.
I'm not sure what the Ulan frequencies are all about, but they may... Oh, and the maps we found. They reveal... And last but not least, it looks like the Hardy Boys...
The probe and the case converged, he thinks. This was quite the find.
Like Joyce told us, yes, logistically. As elegant as they are, I don't think they are relevant to the drug trade. Yes, well...
Unimportant.
We should return to the murder case. There are more than enough grounds to start... The fact that one hasn't started already gives me pause. An investigation, I mean. Especially if the Madrid grouping is involved, and I can't imagine they are. All the same, I don't like the idea of internal affairs. Debrief over.
Went native on the chief, huh?
Wrong. You did the right thing with Measurehead. The ballerina antics won you the fight.
Let's talk about our right to work.
before you attempt to your left.
Mr. Dubois, a pleasure as always. You don't have to sit down this time, since you've already sat on that chair. My dear Harry, there are literally millions of containers in this harbour. I couldn't possibly remember what's in all. Harry, you smooth-talking son of a bitch. Time is a precious resource.
Smooth talking. Maybe that's the way to go about opening the container. You should at least try convincing it.
Oh, that's very nice. I haven't gotten around. One thing I want to make. We're all trying to do what's best for Martinez. Don't feel like.
Whoa, that's so nice of him. Suspiciously nice.
Vanished? Harry, the woman left her casserole in the oven and couldn't make. Oh, did I leave my casserole on? Better go home and check. The election can wait.
Wait, there was no mention of a casserole from Joyce.
Harry, Harry, Harry. Do not fixate on this little man.
If it's spilled blood you're looking for, then this.
What do you mean, Harry? Nothing. I let him go. He's an old man, Harry. I want Harry. I have little people. Honestly, I'm beginning to think you're a midget, Harry. I'm only. If she actually wants to see me, she will find a way. Any good negotiator.
He doesn't want to see her. It's as simple as that.
I'm just a nice guy, Harry. I wouldn't be. Of course, I have no interest. Tell her about all of it. My brother's picture, my singing sword.
It is rather interesting to tell people things about each other, isn't it? It was nice telling him about her right now.
I'm very glad to hear that, Harry. One question. You didn't actually happen to stumble in and see what's inside the apartment, did you?
He's trying to figure out if you're lying. There is no way to sway this man in any direction. He is unsuggestible and unswayable. Just tell the truth.
Exactly the kind of fascist memorabilia I was expecting. Weasel probably prays to it.
He was testing you, and you.
Now let's get down to brass tacks. It's time for men like me and you to figure out who's killed who and why. Real police work is gonna start happening now. I promise you, Harry, this is gonna be good. By now, I'm sure you've figured out who the dead man was working for. The bad guys. Wild Pines. Harry, this strike is the culmination of many, many mistakes made by the Wild Pines group. They tried to shut the strike down by sending...
You mean our victim?
A security contractor? Can you imagine that? Workers standing in peaceful protest, united in the spirit of fellowship, and they send I'm talking beasts. Hardened killers from proxy wars in Yisut, Semenine, Saramaritsa, you name it, they've done it. Raping, everything they did there, they brought over here. They want to turn Revachol into a third world slum. Honestly, the only thing they didn't do is kill the village elephant. Now, I haven't personally witnessed the brutalities out there. I have the luxury of staying in my container, you see. If I need to go somewhere, they just move my container. Yes, I'm an old man, Harry. My legs aren't what they used to be. They live, but enough about me and my fun container. One of them got downright suicidal, getting drunk, violent, a little rapey. Even their own negotiator couldn't control him. That's your boy, the one who likes hanging out and trees.
By negotiator, you mean Joyce?
Harry, what you need to realize is, we dock workers are not pushovers. We got grit, Harry. This whole neighborhood does. Push us hard enough and we push back. Potentially, Harry, potentially. We got arm wrestling champions, rowing club people, ex-coal miners, tough guys, all ready to spring. There's a militant wing inside the Union. A group of people whose duties don't involve manual labor, but...
That sounds a bit like organized.
They're like you guys. Idealistic people who want to make sure bad things don't happen. And if they already have...
Again, that sounds like...
So these idealists killed our victim?
One day Titus Hardy, leader of this peacekeeping faction, comes up to me and says, "Boss, socialist democratic fervor drove us to take it upon ourselves." He probably worded it differently, but that was the idea. Sure sounded to me like they killed him. I gave them 2 weeks paid leave and told them to lay low to avoid retaliation.
Aren't you worried we might arrest them for this?
Oh, I'm not at all worried about that. These are not the kind of men who get arrested. They're Martin A's boys, tough and gritty. I'd like to see the man who takes them in. Besides, I sent my lawyer girl to look after them.
If he's just boasting, then it sure doesn't feel like that to you. He's not worried.
How do I know? Let me tell you about these people. That's their MO. It's what last winter some poor these guys turn up and start beating people. Tell you what, Harry, I wouldn't be surprised if we got the same mercenary company after.
So you believe the scabs were organized by the security control?
You said it. Hell, one of those guys looks big enough to take down. Of course, you're always one step ahead of me, Harry. I'm no genius. Oh, Liz is a bright one. I paid for that law degree myself, thinking it'll probably turn her all fancy. But hell, Harry, she came back a fire. Oh, they are simply... Old Theo used to run them, but things really kicked into gear when Titus took the reins and named the group after himself. Gotta love his initiative.
Interesting. Who's second in command?
They're almost all of them great guys, born leaders. What? Work with them. Hell, interview them. But don't fight them. They really are. But of course, it's...
You can now go and tell Titus about this. See what he...
Also, Harry, here's 5 real. I'm not giving you anything. I'm just holding out 5 real. Oh, I wasn't offering it to you, just holding it out there. But I'm willing to share information. Was there anything else? Racist mugs in the trash and in the apartment? You guys are just light years ahead of... I have so much confidence in the ability of your organization.
Yes. Do you think this weasel is somehow
Oh, no. I don't cross paths like that. All I want is for you to succeed in your investigation. I would...
Oddly, it seems to be true.
Believe me, Harry, he's a nobody. Just your basement variety nobody. Can't imagine him being... But he does live nearby. Maybe it's a pedantic weasel. Fascists are known to be neat freaks. I feel like a real detective right now, Harry. Am I getting this right? Of course.
That's all he's going to say on this subject.
Was it a... I don't know what... Yes, Harry.
A man of the left. He's been hurt too much in the past by men who aren't social democrats.
What does your heart tell you about your...
And what would this entail?
Once again, I require nothing unethical or illegal of you. You just need to get 2 little signatures on this piece of paper, and then mail it to my accountant in La Delta.
It depends. I don't think what we just got from Mr. Clare was very useful.
But, he thinks, it's your call.
As I said, it weighs on me heavily. But once we get really talking, well, I'm gonna hand you the key.
He's saying as little as possible, as vaguely as he can, deliberately omitting things.
I'm glad you asked, Harry. The Union is going to build a modern youth centre in Martinez. It will be righteous. We're gonna get those teenagers off. There's a nameless little street on the coast with some old Yes, the little cul-de-sac on the coast, where all the men have drowned, in either the sea or the bottle. A gloomy place. They are just gonna have to deal with the construction noise for 6 months, and then they'll be living like kings. Right next to a fancy new youth centre.
Is he absolutely sure the tenants won't be thrown out in the street?
Am I? Harry, these people, Martinez is the most important thing. We're gonna build a youth centre there. The value of their properties goes up and kids have a place to play.
He means it.
You bring joy to... You need to get signatures. Once you have the signatures, mail this to 13022 La Rocca in La Delta. Then we can talk about your gun. I don't know what that means. Don't even tell me what was going on. Alcoholic brew. See you soon.
Hey, mister. I knew you'd be back to talk with old Leo here. Yes, I did. Sure, mister. Absolutely. I'm all...
The drawer slides shut.
Hola, wandering man. How can I help you? Yeah, the janitor who gave me the key to his apartment said the guy's a bit of an asshole. Like I said before, I don't know much about this weasel, but the bossman said he's a real piece of work. Thanks for helping out, friend.
Inside, you see a set of steering levers, a radio microphone, a pull-out toolbox, and...
This is Precinct 57. How may I assist you? Not yet, but 57...
In the cabin, you...
I've got nothing to say to you. Why are you... I suggest not wasting time on trivial pleasantries and focusing on why you...
Even though she has excellent control over herself, something moved behind her. You caught her off guard. Push her some more.
No. Talk too tight.
Looks like the circus left town, but the clowns are still here. Oh, so you went and talked to my mommy.
And what's gonna happen if we don't? You're gonna go and tell on us? You gonna let him talk to me like that, Titus?
Let's see. The old man sent word you'd be around again. That's the reason I'm being so
But having Everard back you up like that did seem to have some effect.
Like hell you have. There is no local drug trade. This place is as clean as a rifle. Go back to Jamrock.
We'll do that. In the meantime, did you know that there's an abandoned lorry at the intersection that was used to move raw ingredients for drugs from... The person driving it was present at the hanging. It was one of you. We've connected the footprint.
No, the thunder is his. Leave it to the lieutenant.
Thank you. You're right, Titus. There is no local drug trade because it's all controlled by you.
That's a mighty interesting theory. I guess that's what you would need to do, theoretically. A big, strong, state-run monopoly.
Yeah, man. Theoretically, that's what you would do. To get rid of the gangs.
You would need good, trustworthy people to take their place, of course. Hardy men to run such a monopoly. For the good of the community, of course. No, there aren't. Some little shit and his dad are doing speed. Boo fuck.
Whatever you've seen is peanuts. Look at the big picture, man.
Theoretically.
Not quite yet, Mr. Hardy. There were 8 sets of prints on the crime scene. There are only 7 Hardy boys here.
My answer is... fuck off. Mind your own business. There is no 8.
Finally, you got something out of him. This could prove useful in the future.
And here we go. Back to the...
I know! Fatty walked on all 4s. He's so fucking fat he left 2 sets of footprints. Go fuck your mom, Dennis.
That's more like it, boys. You heard him. It was Angus on all 4s. Anything else you need to know?
Hi again, gendarme. Bye-bye, gendarme.
corpse lies on the ground among the remains of an absolutely demolished pinewood branch. It's gently laid on one side.
Mr. Measurehead has done a good job. Nothing is too broken or compromised. Yes. 1. Investigation of the scene. 2. Initial examination of the victim. 3.
The RCM's 4-phase murder scene.
The fuck are they on about? Cop's gonna cut his shit up!
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Come on, officer.
What you do know is, at 18.9 kilometers, the dormant shield volcano, Corpus Muindi, is the world's. You must have me confused with the Copperpedia. You, sir, you are the Copperpedia.
Unfortunately, no. They are better than nothing. Tell you what, I perform the anatomical side of things. That's right.
You knew it because you inspected your ledger. The lieutenant is relieved you know the protocol. The dead man stares in silence. Above those, an 11-field info form needs filling out.
That's you.
The corpse is indifferent to your scribbling.
KK57.
KK equals Kim Kitsuragi. 57 equals. That's because he doesn't want to bring up the messy question of your initials.
Next. NA. Next. NA. Roughly 50.
Try 40. The damage is so extensive, it's better to err on the young side. The corpse looks ageless, like meat on a
Mondial.
Fair to olive-skinned, from the Isola of Muindi. This is as vague. The pudgy mess of curdled meat looks neither.
Fucky fucky!
Male.
Pigs can have sex!
Nor does he look male, with his pregnant belly.
We're still going with March 4th. 51. What else? 9. Body identified by is non-applicable. 10. Case number is the same as the coroner's case.
KK 57 0503 08.
None. At least not after the initial examination. Interfering with the body's position or wound.
How did you not know that? Aren't you a cop? You're leaving a weak impression here. Say something sure-handed. A silent nod. Your central nervous system recognizes this. Somewhere in Jamrock North, a small wood shed behind Rosencrantz Road. Elsewhere yet, an obese, and so all across Jamrock, Coal City, GRI8.
We should start the post-mortem.
The corpse cannot feel Kim's hand on his chest. It no longer meaningfully interacts.
Clothes. The deceased wears armored boots and white briefs. The make of the briefs is Babrodine, I think. Let's see.
See? It's
Babrodine, yes. Inexpensive. Size?
The disappointment is palpable. The red-haired thing was expecting something.
The rest of the clothes have been removed post-mortem by scavengers in order to get to the victim's ceramic armor. Officers are in search of the missing pieces. Removal of the boots is left for processing.
It would be clever of you to omit the boots altogether, sire. If you are to keep them for yourself, as you ought to, you have deserved them more than anyone else.
The boot has a serial number. It's tattoos. The upper torso is covered in a single. The assistant has a color photograph of the markings. To be added to the case file. The deceased has a belt for airlifting car, well-nourished, athletically built, measuring 1.8 meters, generally consistent with age, about 50. Preservation is body hair is light brown. Distribution is consistent with age. The deceased had male pattern baldness. Hair is combed back, short.
His hair feels wet, soaked with rain, cold to touch. Not that different from a living person. The stench is suffocating. Strands of dark brown. There's brilliantine in there. He's combed his hair back with oil.
Lividity is consistent with hanging. The head is
Fucking low velocity? You think Kuno doesn't know what you're talking about? Velocity was fucking talking shit about Kuno's.
In addition, there are bite marks on the face, scalp, and chest, consistent with predation. Ligature mark. The steel wiring. There's too much of it. We need to remove the belt so we can get to the ligature mark.
You got just the right tool for that. The chain cutters.
Always good to think ahead. Now, we need to cut the belt to see the ligature mark.
See? My pig is gonna fuck his.
No, he ain't. Your pig's a boring fuck.
The belt is equally tight around the hole. The knot is the weak spot. The chain cutters fit it. After some deliberation, snap. The knot is slashed. Another cut and the belt falls apart like a flower.
The rope rises to a point, leaving a gap in the ligature mark. The suspension point is in the back of the neck.
As it ought to. This is where its grip on the curdled meat is gentlest.
Hemorrhaging is observed on the skin, above and below the ligature mark. The mark is well pronounced, consistent with a drop from 1 or 1.5 meters. Chest is intact, normal contour. Abdomen is protuberant, pelvis intact, genitalia.
No!
I fucking knew it!
This is clearly what they've been waiting for, ever since the autopsy began. The lieutenant.
Genitalia is male and unremarkable. No evidence of injury.
The dead man's penis is average-sized, congested from the downward collection of blood.
Back is symmetrical and intact. Upper and lower extremities are intact, but asymmetrical. There are combat injuries on the right hand, thigh, and hip. In addition, I see smaller, residual scars, too numerous to count.
From wounds sustained over 2, maybe more decades. Dispersal and accumulation indicates long and active combat duty.
We have last item, hands.
His flesh is cold.
Pleased to meet you. Where are you from? I'm only fucking with you. I know where you're from. From Cappadocia. And your name is Il Kobo. What can I do for you, Il Kobo? I did, Kobo, I did. We should do this more often.
Hands are clean. No sign of injury from struggling. I was. Maybe I'm just not seeing them. Honestly, the stench is making it hard for me to think. Ooh. That's all for the external. Well done. What next? Central nervous system. I have nothing. Do you have anything on this man's central nervous system?
Of course, there is a moral to be drawn from it. A moral to this story.
What would that be?
The dead man looks, too, with barely contained excitement to hear the moral of his story.
I think that may well be the moral of every story, officer. Good.
With, you hear cracks as the lieutenant moves his sharp fingers inside the flesh, like the...
Yeah, jack that fucker off!
The hyoid bone is fractured. The rest of the musculoskeletal system is intact. Unremarkable. Respiratory system. Oral cavity shows no lesions. The victim has received dental implants, possibly after a combat wound. Mouth swollen, hemorrhaging present in
No scream, no sigh of relief rises from the dark. It's hard. Once more, you taste stomach acid in the back of your throat. Inside, you see darkness.
There are ancient mysteries down there, Kobo. Ask me.
Hemorrhaging present in mucus. Hepatobiliary, NA. Are you a hepatobiliary expert? Same for toxicology and serology, NA. Cardiovascular. The body exhibits heavy lividity. Blood has gathered in the hands, feet, and neck. Hypostasis is visually consistent with gastrointestinal.
This will do.
Digested semi-solid food in stomach. Voila. What's next on the list? Let's see. We have bite marks, contusions on head and chest, head, chest and scalp bite mark injuries. Predation by birds has caused damage to the body. And your opinion, officer? Agreed. Next injury? So, the scalp bleeds from a post-mortem head injury, a stone. The injury does not have the rim of an early inflammatory response.
At maximum velocity.
Has confessed to causing it at maximum.
Coagulated blood sticks to his scalp and chest, where the countless stones have hit the...
Right. Next. A dark red abraded. I see hemorrhaging on the skin, above and
below the note. Two
That's it. We have let's wrap this up. I pronounce this field autopsy over. Well, we established probable cause of death. We were thorough with the list of injuries too. We described them all in... I need a copy of that autopsy form. Then I will drive him to Faubourg for processing.
He's thinking, did I miss something? I'm sure we didn't get everything. There's always something. The man is... The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his limbs, his torso with its swollen organ. The man is decomposing. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold body, his lips. man is deep. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath. You run your hands over the victim's cold. The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and takes a deep breath.
Shoot, Looney Rooney. Oh yes, Kobo. Just a small gulp away. My beloved, come back later, Kobo.
The lieutenant adjusts his glasses and...
I thought we decided to leave it to processing. Let's not turn this into...
Damn it. This is turning into some sort... Okay, so you can sneak out of your room maybe, after he's gone to sleep. An inconspicuous pile of the roofing material, Eternite.
He fucked the tree up! Fucked it good! It was porno! Stop choking, Kuno!
Kuno's not fucking choking. Like fuck you did. Kuno's gonna keep saying kipped forever now. Kipped? Shit. The fuck did you want anyway? You got your fuck bag down. Now let's talk normal shit. Shoot that shit at Kuno, Pigonaught. Kuno doesn't...
I'll die before I squeal.
Back. Good. What can I help you with? Not an umbrella, I hope. Sadly, I need this one myself. What I can do for you is answer some questions. Nothing like talking to You have.
Finally, time to choose sides.
Of course, Detective.
The RCM does not pick sides in this. I hope it does.
Of course. How could I stop you?
Intellectually speaking, it would be quite interesting to hear what she has to say about these things.
Of course, Detective. Until then, is there anything I...
Hello, hello. Sure, let me have a look. I'm not purchasing any more clothing at the moment. Anything else you're thinking of selling? Another time, perhaps.
Rust peels off the bent iron posts of the swing.
In this yard?
He's assessing the situation.
Someone thought they could have a summer house in a bloc obscure, for cheap. It didn't work out. They abandoned it about a decade ago. Practically, it's not an official term in any way, but look around. No sewage, broken power lines, crime, drunks. Yes, and you picked it up.
It's not meant as nagging, just an observation.
We should move.
This is it, the scene of the party, the fire pit. Cigarettes and empty bottles all evidence it. Not as such, and looks like they were here a while, judging from all the bottles.
Looks like it. Hey, let's keep moving, detective.
Somehow.
The legend returns. You know the dance. Smokable smokes, pissable pilsner. Drink it, then convert it to piss. And there's spirits and speed too. Bottoms up, Captain. Oh, you see bought cigarette?
The hook, where is it? I can't see it.
Hook 'em and cook 'em, huh? You want to buy something? See, friend, it's real. You know what's crazy?
He's finding it difficult to focus his...
What? This...
Conversation might bring a discount, no?
Oh, this is medicinal spirits. I got one of those. Didn't stop me for shit, that's for sure. 5 lemons with half a pack of butter and you're good to go. It really isn't. Those arseholes charged me 4 real to remove the damn thing. But I came out on top after all. The idiots left me alone in there. Like 3 cats. 2 I already sold to these fine gentlemen here. But this last one is yours for 3 real, if you want it. So what do you want then?
His tone is aggressive. You're getting on his bad side now.
Tequila sunset. Wonderful. Not much. The tale I'm about to there are many
Are you telling them?
Shut the fuck. Our heroine finds herself enjoying the peace. What she doesn't know is that her peace is about to be shattered. From behind her comes the clattering of hooves. A headless man, wearing a found tracksuit, riding off, rumored to be searching for his legendary found cap that went... Yes. According to legend, young Gertrude Het had to endure years of psychotherapy before she was able to look at a horse or tracks. Gertrude Het may have been the first to witness the headless found.
Tell them about the 2 feminists.
Fuck, Rosemary, they were dating. No one said...
This wouldn't be the dip.
What? You know it.
I've read the case file, but please...
Right. Early, the wind picks up. The women are caught in the downpour. They act quickly. Eva gathers the rods whilst Ulla turns around to reach for the tackle.
Don't turn around. Don't turn around.
When she sees something. Her shriek is so violent that the residents of the nearby apartment, but there is no lightning. Ulla makes a run for the shore, but Eva slips on a wet rock. Her body is never recovered.
Naturally, Ulla De Ponte became the prime suspect in the disappearance of Eva Delgado. De Ponte maintained that it was the so-called headless found rider and that she During the investigation, it became apparent that there was a love triangle, the third party being some small-time businessman. I don't remember the exact details. The leading theory was that an argument broke out on the jetty and De Ponte... No, she committed suicide before she could be taken into custody. Not a pretty scene.
Man, that's some grisly detail. Anyway, that's the story of the headless found rider. Pretty crazy, huh? Well, Tequila, that's... Some say he was an undercover cop who blew his
Oh, headless brother, where art?
Others claim he was a professional jockey who veered...
Even decapitation couldn't stop his commitment to the sport.
Personally, I think he was just some guy who hanged himself from a really tall tree, coincidentally at that...
For some reason, this does strike you as the most plausible theory of them all.
Isn't it? All the pieces fit together perfect. Anyway, to each his own. You want to hear any other stories? No one knows.
He won't, though, because it's just a stupid...
Aye. I saw him one night when I was right shit-faced.
Good fuck. I used to own... Now I can't...
You of all people should empathize with this.
My agency. Man. The Boom Boom Room. I convinced my partner I was financing a group of
If it sounds like it makes no sense, that's because it doesn't.
I know. It was... What? You've never seen 100% leak? Pretty nice.
Good God. It's nearly impossible to describe how dirty this texture is. It's like rubbing 2 jellyfish skins. Randomized trials have also found lycra, TM, to be associated with a number of exotic... And then there's the smell. But...
Wow, you're lucky. He never let...
That's because your paws are fucking filth, my fell...
Hey!
Shut the fuck...
I thought he...
A gurgling sound.
And yeah, you're already acquainted. Tequila, it's a verifiable tragedy. Say, you're a detective, right? Maybe you can help old Doom Spiral out. Solve the case of the missing jacket. If I knew where I lost... Somewhere north of here, that's for sure. You could ask around, see if anyone's seen it. I'm all ears, Tequila.
What do you want with...
That's an excellent question, man.
You're trying to wink at me, aren't you? Are you getting a reward for it at least? Good for you. Can't expect. Anyhow, you might ask Lillian if she's seen it. Eh? What's this about? Come now, I can't read all the scribble. Tell me what it says. Huh. I might be half blind, but it looks like part of the village is gonna be a street. The best part. The part we need. Have you asked Lillian about this? I won't even consider signing till I know she's on board.
Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. What's on your mind, officer? Oh, that's good to know, I guess. Why is it in the sea? This calls for a funeral, if you ask me. Aye. Feels deserved, don't you think? Falling in the line of duty like that and all? Why odd? Our things are a part of our life.
Life world. Someone's been reading up on last century Gotwaldian philosophers.
Oh yeah? Take it from someone who's been through a few funerals. It's easiest to just leave them there and let nature take care of it.
That's all we have time for right now anyway. Come back here in June and see how you feel about it then. It's not like it's going anywhere. Yes, that...
You like the Capri funeral idea?
Remarkable. That one already lost everything. It's a good thing.
That's odd. Is she actually impressed?
How sweet of you.
A phenomenon that the spectral hand theory...
If one of them lost something, that's as good a place to start looking as any. Aye, the sea's gonna calm down soon. I can feel it. The wind is turning southeast. Where are you? This says by signing, I agree to living with construction noise. What exactly is the union building? What a nice idea.
She sounds incredulous about the niceness of the idea.
That Evrart and the Union have nice plans for anything. I thought they only cared about themselves.
And those members have a vote when electing the head of the local chapter.
He has a pen in everything. Here you go. I shouldn't have. That's what I asked you. Anyhow, you...
Sound logic. Division of... Sounds like Isabel is the leader around here.
Our tenant, the policeman. I hope the waves don't keep you up at night. Lillian should let her sword make her decisions. The girl just doesn't have the head for it. Either way, I won't sigh. Lillian's not the only one.
She wanted to see if you would do it, and if she would do it.
I've seen it all before. You think they've got our interests at heart? Rich men are always selling poor men promises. Then the poor get pushed out of their homes and the rich get a little richer. That's the way.
It's really in her best interest to listen to you. You know how the world works.
Cops bribing citizens. Doesn't it? Do you know who have some integrity?
It's okay. She's emotional right now. You know, there could be another way. You need to go someplace private and discreet, though, like your shack. Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height, stand shut. Nothing happens, only the sound.
I don't think that's going to work.
The carving on the door is blocked. The surface is smooth from the carving on the door is block locked. The doors remain unchained. This cheap-looking padlock is sturdily built. It shackles together a hasp. It'll be easier to break the staple than the lock. Also, that sticker is interesting. You see a yellow circle with 2 X's and a big curve below them that looks like there is something blindingly modern about this symbol. He takes off his glasses and uses a blue handkerchief to thoroughly wipe them clean.
No. Looks like a dead man smiling. Suggests junior delinquency. For Revachol ZOC, the moral intern defined junior delinquents as minor. These acts aren't called. I haven't seen that sticker before, and I'm not a youth. That level of conceptual thinking is not.
The padlock. Should you want to get through, it might be easier to just pry the hole.
Maybe we should circle the building first and look for another way. The building has seen enough.
There is a touch of guilt in his voice.
Yes, the pulsing base. A sure sign of junior.
There's something on the sea ice there. There's nothing like the sound of a sticker unpeeling. Now it's stuck to your thumb. Looks like today was a gold star day. A pane of ether barely holding.
It looks like a makeshift bridge. Could be.
The pane falls into the icy snow with a soft thunk.
We should ask that girl on the.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice.
Oh.
It's cold out here, but she's not wearing a hat. She must be free.
Huh?
Maybe she didn't hear you. A little.
So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah, well... Look, man.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer of the law.
I'm sorry I said fuck the hat. My whole family swears in a cell.
Her hair is dyed blonde.
Why? Okay, it's Burger.
A very common. You have little reason to.
This is a portable recording device. It's for field recording. Actually, just one wire. I picked a contact mic, record sounds from inside.
Your mangled brain would like you to know there is a boxer called Contact Mike. No, you're welcome.
Yeah, I record stuff with it. No. This is a contact microphone. It's for recording inside solid objects. Contact mic just beats people up.
An entire litany spews forth.
Man, you are one weird cop. You do understand it all just... The mic? I don't exactly know. Same place I got the recorder from. The Elysium. Oh man. You haven't been to the Elysium? It's a music club and a synthesizer workshop.
Thinking about it really cheers her up. It's a long way from here, though.
Oh yeah, guess you wouldn't know Van Eyck. I don't know what that means either. That's cool. Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps? Okay. Recording, I guess. I think I'm recording cracks in the ice. But there's no way to tell. My boyfriend... I don't know, man. Things. Just stuff you...
A lie.
The musicians in the Elysium. Anyway, I don't really know what...
She looks at the recording device. The thing she thought would fill her hours with...
Take this, your code.
No, man, fuck that, I'm cool. I'm sorry I said that.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe you were right about the hat. Thanks.
A shaggy-looking girl in her late teens or early 20s kneels on the ice with an electronic contraption in her hand. Hearing you approach, she looks...
Oh.
It's cold out here, but she's...
Huh?
Maybe she didn't...
So should you. Oh, I didn't notice that. Yeah.
What did she just say? That's not how a civilian is supposed to address an officer. Lots of feeling. Feel it up. You're saying it really loud, but it's not coming out right. More. More.
I didn't mean to. I'm sorry.
The lieutenant is watching. The girl looks down. Slowly. That's it. You've earned it. Start crying. Life's hard. The words are stuck. Looking up, she sees a grown man on the wrong side.
This isn't really about the hat, is it? I swear to God, I will always wear a hat from now on. You know, crying helps though.
Do you want to talk about what just happened? Normally I'm up, so...
'Tis possible thou couldst persuade the lieutenant 'twas all a part of thy unorthodox method.
Glad to hear it was minor. Can you go on? Then... Yes? Yes. I don't know what to say. I'm not really sure, but either way, good on you. You were saying?
So...
There is a hint. Her hair is dyed blonde, with dark roots showing. And she...
Recording. I think I'm recording cracks in the... My boyfriend... I don't know.
A lie.
The musicians in the palace... Anyway, I don't really...
She looks at the record.
No, man.
It's okay.
Yeah, maybe you were right. Thanks. That? Yeah. Andre and...
And why is that?
They got too much music stuff mostly. Like this tape recorder, but bigger. And there's piles. Yep. That stuff is more expensive than I am. More expensive than... Go ahead. It's supposed to accept that. Yeah, you know, anodic, cathodic, synthesizer.
You see clear,
I know. Hey, don't get me wrong, but you're cops, right? Okay, well, maybe you could talk to Andre and the guys, because there are some strange things going. They're inside that thing there. Would be called... No, not really.
She's trying to get out of a direct lie with semantic tricks. She personally didn't put the padlock on the door.
Yeah, you know, that's what I meant. Noid did. Noid put the padlock on the door. Yeah, I guess you could say that. To keep more weirdos from getting in. Fucking Martinez. Go ahead. This, actually just one wire. A contact...
Your mangled brain would like you to know. You're welcome.
Yeah, I recall... no. This is a contact microphone. It's for...
An entire litany.
Man, you are one... You do understand it all. The mic? Same place I got the record... man, it's a music...
Thinking about it really cheers her up.
Oh, yeah. Guess you wouldn't know, Van 8. I don't know what that means either. That's cool. Sucks, man. Was there something else? About the contact mic, perhaps? Okay. A cell. Why? Okay.
You have little reason to doubt that's a real name.
I was wondering, what is it? Oh, really? So, the thing that's got you crying in front of strangers is the slow pace of social progress? No, it sounds like you just got chick issues. Well, think about... Anyway, was there something else? Okay. Hello again. Well, it's just...
Fast and clean, a good one. Can't quite say it's a lie, but it feels like one. She's better at lying than she'd like everyone to know.
Go ahead.
The device is cold to the touch.
Hello again.
The device is still warm from her touch and heavy as a brick from the batteries inside. The company logo, she looks you in the eye, her pupils wide, surrounded by a ridiculous amount of makeup. The wind howls. It's real. Tell her.
What is? Okay, I'll stick to it. So, thanks.
She means your little talk before, after.
Well, it's just...
Fast and clean.
Once or twice, yeah. Rich people. Rich people are east of the river. Aren't they? I thought they were as vachalaire as any of us. Maybe you're right. The usual. You know, drinking.
Interesting term.
Is this a rhetorical question? My dad was a drunk. Plus, I guess, I just wanted to drink too, you know. Get my party on.
The girl is truly proud of herself.
I'll try.
The tent is just tarpaulin fabric covering a pile of stuff. The flap is open. Inside, 3 young men, all in forward-looking apparel, reminiscent of the sticker on the padlock, are listening to some new form of music. It's like nothing you've ever heard. One of them looks at you.
Come on, get in and close the flap behind you. The warm stuff's getting out.
It's safe to assume this is their leader, or at least he thinks he is.
Sorry, we barely have room for one.
You go ahead. I'm too old for that.
I'm actually not, he thinks. I just dislike delinquents.
I'm sure you will feel right at home. I'll keep watch.
Hair with a toothbrush. He puts the toothbrush down and extends his hand in greeting.
Hello, I'm Andre. It's a pleasure to meet you.
His grip is strong, sweaty, and warm. He's trying to project and inspire.
This is my posse, Noid.
The young man with earrings looks at you suspiciously.
An egghead. Egg! Together with a Settle Burger, who's out there right now, doing some seriously progressive sonic experimentation, we like to think of ourselves as music venue organisers. We have many in the pipeline, officer. You see, we've been all over Jamrock North, prospecting for real estate to establish a new venue in.
Also for talent.
Yeah, thank you, Egghead. And while there is no shortage of raw, unfettered talent spinning tapes in Jamrock, we've had rotten luck with the real estate part.
place is a shithole.
I apologise for my friend Noid's potty mouth. I realise this is not how you speak to a police officer. He has authority issues.
I will, lawman.
Which brings me to the problem of occupied ecclesiastical property. I bet you've noticed the derelict hive of narcomania on the coast. I'm talking about the church, and I'm not exaggerating. Even a place of spiritual refuge can become a magnet for all sorts of dopeheads and burnouts if left unattended.
Dopeheads! Burnouts! Well, I'm sad to say, that's exactly what happened. Sad because we were just about to put Martinez on the map with one of the maddest dance clubs in Jamrock. Nah, strike that. In REVON.
Strike that! And sadder yet, because the dopeheads and burnouts holed up in there are the worst kind.
He leans back a little, watching you with a steady, serious gaze, letting you imagine just how bad those dopeheads and burnouts really are. Good. This calls for an opinion. You're an expert in those.
The spooky kind. I was hoping you would be the judge of that, officer. All I can say is, their spookiness is the kind that keeps us from restoring this church into a community centre.
Also, they don't eat or clean the building. Shit's gonna collapse.
People just want to spin tapes without them spooking it up. Thank you, Egg. So you're gonna look into it, right? It should be a police matter. Getting all right, man.
Andre's obviously very happy you took him seriously. The whole tent is.
Oh, so you met her? Good, good.
He's not as glad as he would like you to think. There's concern in...
I did ask Noid to install a measure against more drifters wandering in. It's a temporary fix, just something to contain the situation.
I had to do it in a hurry. Not my best work, but it should hold for a while.
Of course.
All right.
It's as if time has frozen somehow. Blam! Straight in the eye. Straight in the old eye or in a stabbing pain. Tears stream uncontrolled.
Man, I'm sorry.
He looks like he's genuine.
I really am sorry.
Wow, looks like there's quite a lot there.
I hope that settles it. Or wait. The key?
He is shifting.
We were talking about the padlock not long. Like a week, maybe? I'm super
Somewhere in the ruinous past that led you here, there was something called exams. You may have...
Yes, I do. I listen to Channel 8. I don't know.
Oh, yeah.
I knew you'd get it. You're one smart...
He nods, attentively, ready to...
Not long. Like a week, maybe? Thank you. We just... Sure, man. Tell us what you want to know. Let's do it. Truth is, I don't really know. None of us do. I don't even know how many there are. All we've seen are glimpses. Yes.
This machine.
When I first scouted the...
One of them is...
Andre. Oh, and it felt like there was something in there with...
No.
Which...
Felt like silence.
Not exactly. We've just seen someone who we think is a woman go in and out of the church. A couple of times. And we felt like you aren't...
It wasn't quite...
Not you.
It was this dark... Yeah, you know. The way...
It was stalking a cell. Exhibited...
Odd. Crabs are usually marine creatures and not known for climbing walls.
Crab man! Yeah, totally.
You should ask her.
There probably is no crab man. Don't let them draw...
You should talk to Noid about that. I just got a distinct burnout and dopehead sign from them. Probably jacked up to some snuff station too. Probably, very likely. Well, honestly...
This is a below-feeble attempt at avoidance. Basically, he...
Hey now, don't let all that technology... Sure. What? Oh yeah.
If you don't know what the founding party is, there might be a way to mask it with minor demagoguery.
Come to think of it, I've never really looked them up, you know? I can't give you a... And they have roots in ancient mass society. And they're the custodians of the Pericanassian Church. Plus, they anoint totally.
The Pericanassian Church, love is hot.
Unity. Unity.
Make some noise for my insulin.
You feel it. The anodes and the cathodes coursing through you. Your big toe starts tapping along to the base, as if testing feels good.
Yeah!
He seems ecstatic that you share it.
Do it for the Mac. I didn't want to...
The one with the large head is still looking at you, nodding.
Yes. What? Yeah. Good to have...
It's like he's lying to you, my liege. But he's slippery enough that there's...
It does. Told you we have a smell problem. Ether? I don't smell ether. No.
He sniffs the air. It doesn't take a forensic scientist to guess it's drug-related. They look and act like that. However, their breathing is regular, at least not under the influence of stimulant.
The what now? Oh, the old Ultra.
He's like an actor, looking to the souffleur for his...
I have a major sinus infection, stuffy nose. We all do. Shit's all blasted up. Winter. Can't even breathe. Yes. What?
He nods enthusiastically. No doubt, a little...
As always.
Heavy wooden doors, more than twice your height. Heavy wooden, the lock turns.
Let's go.
As you do, you hear the echo of the doom. A great whoosh of air rushes into the dark innards of the church in the heart of the city. A machine stands in the corner, watched over by the figures on the stained glass.
Another radio computer. And this time it's already turned on.
These machines sometimes harbor traps, he thinks.
We should leave. I doubt this place bears any connection to the case. It's also quite...
The one you saw earlier was a Ream civic. The Ream prefect is the government. You see fluorescent play and the lieutenant says nothing. Behind the hatch, another filament memory. The speaker.
Good evening. Votre accident on Saint-Brune. This is the East Insulindian Repeat Station 1. Please repeat. Is this the personal log?
It's the same old woman you spoke with through the radio computer in the doomed commercial area.
Good. Please repeat the password.
Let's look around. There's no use trying to guess the answer.
Receive votre accident. I have 2 machines registered to this.
Saint-Brune. That's the church.
Anything else I can help you with? Good. Please repeat.
Let's look around. There's no...
No.
The hint system is not part of the protocol for repeat.
Still? No. I am
I'm afraid we are...
Now, can you receive votre accident? Good. Thank you. Please repeat. Sleep.
The machine's keyboard. Nothing happens. The silence in... Maybe if you were to stand in just the right spot, even your footsteps would be completely silent. And then it's gone. It seems that you can hardly hear your own breathing. You produce a few muffled thumps. Your voice is barely audible. The lieutenant points to his ears and shakes his head.
Can you hear anything? The church just has strange acoustics.
His detached tone conceals how uncomfortable he is. The lieutenant doesn't reply. The orderly rows of ceiling panels become barely visible. Just darkness without end. It makes your head spin. There's nothing.
Officer, what are you looking at?
Filled with vague shapes of woodwork. The sense... You see something hanging from the rafters, looking straight at you with dark eyes. Maybe it's possible to talk to it. Is that a man? Looks more like part of the carpentry. The crab man. The man leaned forward a little, fixing you with a steady...
Habitual alcohol use has made you into a scared little pussy, Holmes. But don't worry. Everything's gonna be alright. You come to the right place.
That accent is Villalobos. a peninsula in Mesk, and a district in Jamro. There's a sizable contingent of villagers.
Here you can receive the mother's love. And when you're ready, she will take your hand and lift you out of the despair at the bottom of the...
This man is obviously a habitual narcotics user. Do we really need to question him?
I'm put off by this religious stuff, he thinks. And maybe the ceiling climbing, too. Hey, and what was that about? The bottle again? You haven't even drank that much lately. Lay off it already. Shish.
Oh yeah, sure. You don't know anything about alcohol use. You got it all under control, Wade. I could smell the control all the way over here. Not all of it. I was like you once. You don't know all.
You know, actually, since we're here, you may want to pay attention to what the ceiling climber is saying.
Don't trust me. Trust the mother. I'm only the messenger home. This is the church of the Mother of Silence.
You have no idea what the fuck he's talking about. 'Tis not an act, my liege. Save him perchance, he hath deceived his very self. This man is a zealot.
Never known myself to be a crab. But if that's the name you got for me, I won't stop you from using it. I always thought of myself more like a flame, flickering along the rafters. I was in a gangway, but my memories of that time are fading. Most of them are already gone. No, man, you gotta let that shit go. Then the mother's light touch will fill you.
Do you remember your name, sir?
The lieutenant is not particularly interested in this information. He's just trying to...
Tiago's my name. But those syllables don't mean much to me these days. Your place amongst your fellas. Your place in the world. I ain't got no use for such a place anymore. That's just the thing, Holmes. None of that matters. This is a special place. There's a perforation in the world up there. I circled it, nurtured by the silence bestowed by the mother. Oh, that's no simple question, Essa. She is a cavity in the dark beyond sense. I will be incinerated, but not destroyed. Finally, I won with the state of...
That sounds a bit like substitution behavior, no? You know a thing or two about that.
I'm a seraph, Holmes. I sing the mother's glory. I ain't from no Marietti.
Marietti is a Mesk style of music and dance, commonly seen...
Hard to say. I think I did some construction work here, back when I still had material worries. Up there? I've been spending a lot of time here ever since. The past is nothing. I think they were. A long time ago. I had to shed them like skins to get close. It's not like that at all, man. It's just faith.
Too gleeful, those words. He is lying. Not to you, to his very own self.
I know it will take time. Don't sweat it.
The sinewy figure lingers on the wooden beams, blending into the shadows.
Police raid a while back.
Did you witness it?
Not really. Or at least I don't remember much of it anymore. The mother's love has done its job. That's the ones in the tent outside, right? I see them. Guessing they're the ones who call me a crab. Probably. Nah, man. They look pretty funny. And I don't harm no one anymore. Anyway. Why not? They wouldn't bother me none. I'm usually way up there, imbibing. Ain't no music on earth that can reach where I go. Might even be nice to have some.
He said that in spite of himself. He's more attached to the human than he'd like to think.
Other spooker? Oh,
the Aita is Grandma?
No. I just call her Viejita because of her clothes. She's actually quite young. Or maybe not that young. Age is just one of the many masks. That's what I said, Holmes. Don't really follow her comings and goings. Just see her typing on her computer now and then. We got different interests. I'm afraid not, Essay. You just have to wait until she comes back, or
search through her radio computer.
Too many times, Essay. You need it for something.
Surveys are a good way to fish for personal information, especially in the name of public safety. The lieutenant raises his eyebrow.
Don't sweat it, vato. The password is afterlife. What you think of that? Makes me almost pity la niñita pequeña. I think we're done here, Essay.
That was, however, I'm still not sure how it's relevant.
The machine's keyboard is... The speaker comes to life.
Good evening. Votre accident en Saint-Brun. This is the East Insulindia. Good. Please good. I have unlocked the filament. After ending the call, please press print. Votre accident. Is there anything else I can do for you today? Sleep well.
The machine's keyboard is still illuminated. The printer prints out a long text document with dated paragraphs. It looks a bit like someone's. The first entry, made on the 4th of February, 51, by an arrived at the church. The door was boarded up, so I used the crowbar to get inside. Looks like the place has been deserted. Nothing out of the ordinary, but I'll ask around. Need to figure out how to get... The lieutenant leans closer, scouring the printout over your shoulder. Just as you finish reading.
4th of February. That's over a month ago. Whoever set up those machines has been here for quite a while. Our case? No, I don't think so.
6th of February, 51. Had a little chat with the local fishermen. Said I shouldn't go near that place. That the church was spooky and ridden with narcotics. It's a little spooky, all right. Still haven't figured out. 7th of February, 51. Finally got the electricity in. Next on the agenda, a new antenna. I'm thinking ESCA series, something advanced.
Why would anyone need any of this equipment here?
8th of February, 51. Bought the antenna. Had some problems setting it up. Called Simo for help. Heard the others are back to making art. Drinking somewhere out of town. Sulislav started a rock, but at least the artists have their act together. They're qualified labor. They can get work anywhere. Graphic design, ads. The programmers are doing fine too. I mean, they're programmers. The writers, I just have to find out what caused that data loss and be done with it. Still don't understand how it managed to wipe out the backup, when the backup wasn't even connected to the front. I know. Everyone thinks it's impossible. They say I must be lying. I'm here to set it right.
Seems like something to do with radio computers. Unfortunately, I don't know enough. Something about the backup data getting destroyed, and how everyone thought it was the author's fault. I think these people worked in the radio computer games business. The one we saw in the Doom commercial area. They must be our former co-workers.
12th of February, 51. Brought some food from the grocery store. Apparently, there's a strike going on in the harbor. Definitely not happy to...
The strike. We are nearing the date of the murder. Keep reading. I'm interested now. I want to know what's that radio anomaly that sent this person here in the first place.
25th of February, 51. I've been sending data up to Lintel for a while now, trying to recreate the data loss, but nothing. Didn't even feel like logging in, the disappointment. But I did discover a curious audio-spatial anomaly at the back of the church. I've named it the Swallow. It swallows sound. Need to get some...
Is she talking about?
28th of February, 51. Yes, the first recordings confirm that the Swallow is real and I'm not just losing my mind. It's a pillar of silence with a diameter of approximately 3 meters. Seems like the higher I go, the less I record. This might be a coincidence, or it...
The pillar of silence. She is talking about the silence. Is she suggesting it's more than just an architectural quirk?
The lieutenant doesn't answer. He follows your gaze, studying the March 51. Some kind of young disco men have appeared next to the church. I've been trying to record the silence to find the epicenter, but now it turns out I've also been capturing the future of dance music, one neo-disco song over and over again. Fortunately, the song is so monotonous, I was able to devise an algorithm to factor it out. The other day, one of the disco men came in. Before I could even say hello, she got scared and left. Good, I don't want anyone distracting me from my...
The girl on the ice?
March 51. I got a call from the repeater station. Someone has tried to access the radio computer in our old office in Martinez. Can't do anything about it. The storekeeper still doesn't want to let me inside the building. Thinks I'm part of some kind of curse. How Martinez of her.
I knew it wasn't a good idea to meddle with that machine.
No. It was a great idea. You're learning things. This is how you learn things about machines. March 51, a new 2-meter aux cable. Noodles, crackers, ping-pong energy drinks, water, toothpaste, gum. Also, some urine interrupted by the sound of the church door opening. A stranger makes straight for the radio computer.
Breaking into my radio computer, I see.
Yes, you are breaking in, but not into her radio computer. You're a
I do apologize for the intrusion, madame. We are with the RCM, you see.
Well, you won't find any music venue organizers here. It's just me and my computer, and it has been this way for weeks. Now please give me some room. I need 2 seconds to see that you haven't destroyed...
We should talk to her after she has rebooted the machine.
In white silver. This is her innocence, Dolores, cradled in her arms are a pair of glowing lungs, clearly visible from underneath her flowing dress. You should kneel. Your knees touch the floor. The floorboards are hard and cold. There you kneel among the snowdrifts. Diffuse light. The woman looks down at you kneeling. She towers among her followers. She acknowledges the passing of someone who is you. As that useless word passes through your mind, the lieutenant draws an X shape. Your fingertips touch your chest 4 times. Then you rise from your knees into the apricot-colored light. Despite the damage you've done to yourself, the title appears. No amount of Commodore Red can wipe her. The highest category, more. And innocence is no, we are alone. "300 years ago, in the wake of the discovery of this Isola, many things, you know she was a woman of the court, the wife of an influential Marchese, and eventually the principal advisor to Irene la Navigateur, Queen of Serene, modern-day Sir Laclay, also that draped in ancient sadness, the past. It's a no, you must know. Terribly, women of the court were expected to play both contract bridge and chess. Sufficiently, she made the most of her position in the antediluvian. She was an almost preternaturally magnetic. It was on her advice that Irene la Navigateur sponsored a number of voyages into the Pale. A costly, she was crowned 2 years after the first. Wow, indeed. When her innocence was declared, and the queen she had advised for years fell on her knees before her, she was so overcome with emotion. Bystanders that is why the lungs are the symbol of, as did we all. In a city called, she was dressed in a white and pearl dress. Oh yes, she looked like humanity's young mother. Midwinter snow was beating one of the men in this secret service killed her 22 years later. A young man who had come to suspect that something that had walked in our midst, watching us stumble for hundreds, if not thousands of years, until it decided to interfere. Dolores Day was shot in the chest with a fowling piece 8 times. The man, thought to be insane, said he once touched her and her body had been unnaturally warm, like a furnace, and that sometimes, while on duty, he observed her forgetting to breathe for over 10. This inhuman quality was witnessed. Terrifying is a term too terrifying. It's a simple word. She was bad for humanity, and you shouldn't have started thinking about her. You already do. Although she is often considered to be the greatest human being to ever live, there was she was the most socially secluded and least self-aware of all the innocences. Some modern thinkers, the Mesk state, suggesting those who fight against it are not part of you. She adored chess. Little is known of her Marchese husband. This subtle terror is part of her.
Lieutenant Jeffreiter, you've stood there for over 5 minutes. What are you thinking of, if I may ask? Okay. This church, the coast in general, we shouldn't linger here. This isn't a good place to get.
The jigsaw of broken shards falls into place in front of you, a ghostly reconstruction of the stained glass window. Before it was shattered, unknown, a motor carriage. The escutcheon on her throne says, small figures of wise men, common men. Below both women, in luminous black letters, Après la vie, mort. And then along the left side, Après le mort, after life, death. After death, life again. After the world, the Pale. After the Pale, the world again. This is the great leitmotif of humanism, a summary of the effect of the discovery of this Isola, the Insulindian, on human thinking. A tremendous sea change akin to finding life after death.
Death, life again. After the world, the pale. This exaltation is common in Dolorian sacralism. In the early years, it was even incorporated as the RCM slogan. No more, however. It was deemed subservient to use a strongly moral intern-related motto. We are justice, union, prudence, and force. Eyes cool.
The mother of humanism towers above you, a wax painting on a cracked pane of glass. Nothing has changed in her expression.
The old woman in the village, it's a minor land
on the coast of an uninhabited.
There used to be 7 stave churches on the coast. Les Sept Sœurs, they call them. The 7 sisters. Only one remains. The rest, we should be respectful here.
Respectful? Is the lieutenant a fault? There it is again. A small pang.
I have a theory, yes. There was a police raid a while back. I heard the place was shot to pieces. The old woman in the village was being tactful with us when she didn't mention it. She has more respect for the RCM than many around here. Well, your station was involved, I hear.
How come the lieutenant isn't sure? Is this confidential information?
3 precincts were involved in the raid, and people say Precinct 41 was one of them. I'm sorry, I'm not saying you were. It was a clandestine operation. I don't know anything about it, why it was conducted or who participated. I try not to pry into extra-district matters. Good luck. It happened a while ago. It's an
The mother of human.
Yes, we all are. Her name, body, and rule are synonymous with humanism. The laws we enforce are Dolorian in origin.
The woman looks by in silence, smiling.
It's not spiritual, it's constitutional.
What is it? No, you just printed out my personal log and wasted some paper. Yes. Or no.
She doesn't seem surprised to be recognized. Rather,
I am Soona Luukkanen-Kilde, the former lead programmer of Fortress Accident and RSA radios. I have over 16 years of programming experience, and I'm proficient in both Vox and Orbis language. If you're not here to hire me, I don't really know how I can help you. Nope. Yes. And? No, you're right. I'm not. I brought them here. These are my machines. Please don't touch anything. I use the AR-1 as my RAIM prefix processing unit. Mm-hmm. Yes? You really don't know anything about radio computers, do you? All right. Well, all radio computers perform operations up on air. So in order to gain more processing power on the front, it's all around us.
like love.
I guess it is. So far I've been quite satisfied with it. Martinez is an unstable region with bad coverage and the operation has been, but it's not the cheapest one on the market. So I wouldn't. Anyway, you should do some research before you decide to buy anything. Ask around, compare the price.
She liked telling me this. It calmed her nerves.
I'm working.
The machine seems almost alien with its pulsing core. the light cast in her face.
Could you just shh for a moment? Or get to the point? I really need to focus on something. So you do know something about computers. You're right. Prefect is used mostly by the government peeps. No, I don't. Because I needed something good for my investigation and Reims Civic is widely agreed to be below all standards. So I had to upgrade. Besides, owning a Reims prefect isn't such a big deal anymore.
No, actually, it is kind of a big deal. You don't see Ream prefects in every police department, for example.
No! I was actually aiming for the military-grade Reim Rational series, but couldn't find one. Prefect is mainly based on the same technology as the Civic, but it does work better with newer antenna models, so I'm not complaining. They are connected to my Reim Prefect. Whatever you do, just please don't move them, okay? Thanks.
Short and terse. There you have it. Whatever she's using them for, they're hers.
Great. You really like those questions, don't you? I'm conducting scientific research here. You can't throw me out. I'm looking for the location of a 2mm hole in the world.
Wait, she's looking for a disruption in the radio waves. The lieutenant raises his brows, but doesn't say anything.
Yes, that's what led me. Exactly. What does it mean? Up to now, it has been impossible to say what it is because it's impossible to measure nothing. What do you think it is? What qualities does nothing have? How do you measure something that...
That's a little above your pay grade at the moment.
You measure it by its surroundings, by that which does exist.
Hydrotransducers. So that's what those water basins are. Devices for recording sound.
But honestly, it's not progressing very well. Somewhere underneath those roof beams, I assume.
Only a faint crisscross of rafters can be made out from the dark. Most of the strange things may flourish in the dark.
There's this place at the back of the church, a place where all audible vibrations seem to decease. I've named it the Swallow. And the higher you go, the less...
The Pillar of Silence? Are you sure it's not just an architectural quirk?
Maybe, but it's oddly close to the physical coordinates of the data loss that led me to this place. I know. No.
She sounds mildly annoyed by this line of questioning. Her hands typing hundreds of commands into the...
Because it's just trial and error, trying to locate the Swallow, the exact point in space. And I don't have a... You know what? It would be really helpful if you could just stop talking and let me work. Great. Thanks. The Swallow, you mean? What about it? Great. Thanks. What? I hate it.
I bet she hasn't even heard it.
Yeah. Like all the time. Maybe I'd have to be on drugs to get it. But this is about those speed freaks in the tent, isn't it? I've got some news for you. It's not a nightclub they want to build here. Take a guess, why don't you? I can't believe they got you so easily. Go have another talk with those up-and-coming entrepreneurs, will you? Thanks.
Good luck. I'm not coming in there.
It's getting cold.
Good night, officer.
On the table, you see a bowl of water. An old mirror hangs on the wall. You see your reflection in it. The bed is comforting. Across the room, the heating system hums its soft lullaby. The mat...
Thoughts, baby. A million little lights in...
Recorded in you. Forever. On Faraday.
On and on it goes. For untold hours. At the disco...
Behold, there are millions of them down there. The first time. The last.
It's the world, Harry boy. You can never forget this shit.
All stuck.
You're the son of the world again. Harrister, a ceaseless agent, picking up litter and old newspapers, collecting your little bubblegum wrappers and idiotic picture postcards. Meaningless, meaningless keepsakes.
Reading your awful letters and recalling things, aren't you? The endless...
You'll go insane if you keep going like...
For the money, baby. For the greater good.
Solving your little crossword puzzles. Doing your tasks. Crossing names off lists. Trying to become some sort of world detector. It won't make it okay. It won't put smoke back in her mouth.
He's got no idea what he's in for.
Gasolina. Beep, beep, beep. The alarm is ringing.
Do it for the picture puzzle. Put it all together. Solve the world. Good. You're up. Listen, there's something that's been bothering you. It's a suspicion, or a feeling really. That's an earth-shattering deduction from your psyche. What will those guys come up with? Every day, things seem to spin more and more wildly, out of control. The center isn't holding. And despite your efforts to moderate and contain these energies, oh sure, you've been making progress on your case, but who's focusing on the big questions? You've got to find out who bears la responsabilité. The most awesome it is human nature to crave. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Like a committee. most evil. Your half-brother, the lieutenant, is a natural place. Together, you'll be able to discover who has la responsabilité in REVON. And, if necessary, you'll have the wisdom and most likely your findings will be collected in a report. Once they've reviewed it, those same superior, rest assured, no matter what happens, it will be done through good luck. Your report is eagerly anticipated.